Guys, welcome to our episode on the Pleasance. So we start off here with the parents interacting with their kids. Since this is a subhood, the scripted events have no pop-ups. So we're going to just go off memory with the scripted events. So I believe that everyone will be going to their jobs and school except Daniel. That's usually how it plays out. We just quickly replace the mirrors over here just because I have default replacements that don't work with the basins. All right, let's get started. So I'm just putting in my hacked objects that I need so that we have them set up. So just a moment while I grab those. All right. I do believe that Mary Sue, for instance, would have a degree. So I'm quickly going to give her that. There we go. And we'll add her some want looks. There we go. And for Daniel, I kind of play as if they met at university, so I'm also going to give him a degree. What shall we give him one? He's very into sport and physical activity. So, yeah, shall we just do biology? I think that's fine. Alright, so just while I do this, we will need to play with this family for longer, just because they're starting on a different day. We're probably not exactly going to get them to Wednesday, but we'll get as close as we can. Alright, we can't quite play with them the entire week. Alright, so let's just quickly let everyone get their mood up high enough so that they can go to school and work and wherever they need to be. If you hear dogs barking, I'm sorry. The entire neighborhood's dogs are barking right now for some reason. Alright, we'll just take a little snapshot. Let's just save quickly, now that we've set them up with some of the things they need. Alright. Mr. Humble brought over the computer. I'll let Daniel open that. Or Angela, whoever's done first. Okay, I just want to check, do they have a maid? Because of the fact that this is a subhood. Let's see. Just so we can kind of play out the scripted events. No, they don't have a gardener or a maid. So I would have to fund and organize both of them. We'll see if Kaylin then ends up being the... Okay, Angela just wants to get a skill point, but there's like 6 minutes before the school bus comes, so I'm not going to attempt to organize that, but I'll quickly send Lilith and Mary Sue to the bathroom so that they can be ready for work and school as well. Alright. Okay, it is in fact Kaylin that's coming. She just named something else because of the what happens when you make a main neighborhood a subhood, the names change and they're randomized. So, right, where is Angela going? Angela, get on the bus, honey. Time for school. Okay, Mary Sue can go to work straight after. Lilith's on her way. Okay, and dear old Daniel will just be at home. He doesn't actually have much wants with regards to Kaylin at the moment. Just simply because, I guess it's because we didn't really, he doesn't start off by having her as the default maid. Alright, so for a secondary, I'm going to give Daniel knowledge. I think he is interested in building skills and performing well at work. And for Mary Sue, looking at her personality, there's a couple of routes we can go, but I'm going to give her popularity because I feel like she wants to be popular with the citizens of their area because she'd like to be mayor. Become general. Okay, that's an interesting one from Angela's side. Looking at her personality, it's interesting, she's actually shy, so you would think that popularity would not be the correct aspiration for her, but okay, someone can be shy and I guess still want acceptance. She's also very active and playful. I'm going to give her knowledge as a secondary. So she's kind of a combination of her mom and dad. And then for Lilith, yeah, Lilith is also not really outgoing. She is active. She's not as playful as her sister, and not as nice. But I think I should take into account that, you know, Lilith is craving the love of a family, and she doesn't really get along with hers. So I'm going to make her secondary family, and say that that's something that she really, deep down, she wants a happy family. Okay, so we'll just, Daniel will idle around a little bit, and we'll let him have a snack or something until Kaylin comes over. Okay, so the kids have left for school. Mary Sue is getting into her carpool. I have to put the roads down now that I've got my default replacements in for roads. Quickly update this. These are quite nice, by the way, if you're looking for roads like these. They're by Lord Crumps, and I really recommend them. It also replaces your terrain, and it looks really nice. Okay, so there we go. That looks a bit more normal. Alright, So she's going to work, and we're here with Daniel. So Daniel had 3 days in a row off, but we are on the final one. And okay, the gardener arrived first, so we'll let him watch TV, just get his fun up a little bit. Alright. Yummy channel, so we can try and build some skills. No one needs to burn any houses down with their bad cooking. Kaylin has arrived. Alright, so before she tells us the house is in splendid condition, I think we need to just make sure that they can interact. Right, so they do have a relationship already. The neighborhood comes with that. Okay, the male is here. Okay, and just greet this lady as well. He doesn't actually even have the chemistry with Kaylin that he has with his wife. That's kind of strange. I actually would not think that he would be interested in Kaylin, really, if you look at this. But okay, I mean, this was obviously created before the chemistry system and stuff came into the game, so it's just the story. But if you look at this, it's interesting. Some of the Sims actually that they paired together before the chemistry system, after the chemistry system, they actually don't fit together at all. Okay, so anyway, we will roll with the story for now. The fact that we don't have scripted events, Mary Sue might not get a chance card at work either. So it's not to say that it will play out the usual way. Alright, so we'll just continue with this. Okay, we do not actually have all the options available, as you can see. Interestingly enough. I'm not sure why that is. But okay, we do have the sim blender. We can always manually do what we need to. Some visitors have arrived. Wow, what a wonderful time to arrive. Okay, so Angela gets 100 simoleons. Cool. interesting. So we have Bill over here. From Somerville, we have Dick from Fairplay and Morticia from Fairplay. So they came to say hello. So it's actually no one from Pleasantview. But Daniel now realizes, well, the doorbell is ringing. Okay, I'm going to change this. I always feel like it makes for interesting storytelling. So I'm actually going to edit it so that even though we didn't have that option, it makes it a little bit more interesting and dramatic. Okay, so he's going to try and just make himself look decent and go and greet everyone like nothing's going on. Scumbag cheat that he is. Yeah, their names are wrong, so disregard that. As always. Okay, so Angela is doing really well at school. Lilith is doing slightly better, okay, because she obviously attended, but other than that, Lilith's grades are still not good. Okay, so Daniel greets everyone. Angela comes and she shares her good news about her grades. Dad is very proud. And of course, okay, we'll just take a snapshot of that. Lilith, of course, witnesses all this and is kind of embarrassed because in front of these neighbors, her dad is congratulating her sister and she comes home with a bad report card. So, okay. Now, in the meantime, Kaylin is trying to appear normal. So, she's quickly going to try and sort herself out so she looks like she's just working. So no one suspects anything. And Daniel's hoping that she has organized herself over there because the neighbors are... Oh, Helen, yes, of course. Walking out like that will make it completely obvious. You know what? I have to move her in anyways because now that she's pregnant, I obviously want her to be playable. So if I can just get her to thank you. Hopefully no one saw. Although I don't know how they could have missed that. Okay, so she'll just greet everyone friendly like the friendly maid. And we have such a blockage at the front door that the girls have to walk into the back door. Okay. So Daniel will just get something from the fridge and perfect host so that no one it kind of diverts the attention, you know, no one will realize. Now everyone wants the bookshelf that's behind the chair. So Kaylin looking at all these gentlemen, and she thinks, oh, none of them quite as hot as Daniel, you know. Okay, I think we need to kind of get her out of here. She would try and get out as quickly as she can because the teenagers are back and she doesn't want attention drawn to her. And of course, they're ready to slap each other. It's always Angela that's starting. I have to say. As much as I appreciate the girl, she absolutely has it in for her sister. What a little brat. Oh, that's Lilith's homework. But let's just move it. I literally don't think that Lilith would go and put her homework in her sister's room. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Alright. Oh, now you want to go slap your sister. Okay, actually, you're both responsible for this. Oh, she's poking you first, so, well. How about it, girls? You are just always ready for a fight. Amazing. Let's just document this, you know? Alright. So Daniel's got food ready for all the neighbors, for visitors. I don't think putting it in the bathroom is a good idea. Okay, so now that the girls are done fighting with each other, Kaylin is just putting down the paper as if nothing's going on. Like, girls, don't fight. And Lilith's like, you're working late. Aren't you usually gone by the time we get back? And Lilith's like, sorry. Kaylin is like, well, there was some extra stuff to clean today. Little bit of maintenance I had to do. So Lilith shrugs it off and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go do homework. Bye then. Daniel is standing in the bathroom eating. Well, if that's not social, then I don't know. Okay. You know what? When you're done, just say goodbye to everyone. It's not like you're interacting with them anyway. Okay, now he's just rolling a bunch of ones that's completely romance-some ones. We'll just lock in the skill point that he had. He can't get out, that's why. She's blocking the door while doing homework. Okay, so Mary Sue obviously didn't get the chance card, so she's just at home her regular time. And she's coming in seeing all these visitors. And she's friendly, greeting them. More people that can vote for her one day, you know. She hopes that her family was decent in front of her, all of them, didn't embarrass her. Okay, I'm just gonna... Luckily I have this mod where you can let someone teleport. Let him teleport somewhere else because he won't move from there. Okay, so she's interacting with Morticia Graves. Very important, well-known person from Fairplay. Who has a lot of influence. She doesn't quite know who this man is, but she greets him, she's friendly, and Bo is sitting there having his donut, and he's looking at Mary Sue with interest. He really likes this political woman that he's recognizing. And why are they laughing about Bella Gaw? Maybe they heard she's back and they're laughing about it. Oh, he finds Mary Sue really attractive. Well, it's like two balls, same as her husband. Anyhow, he's very interested in Mary Sue. And she's really the opposite of his wife. His wife is this quiet, docile housewife. But he seems to really like a woman with a strong personality. Interesting. Okay, anyway, so Mary Sue says, okay, it was so nice that you guys all came, bye-bye. And she just clears up the dishes. Alright, so Angela is coming over, sitting with her parents, watching TV, telling her mom that she did really well in school. And Lilith is taking a chance, it seems, to be on Angela's computer. But I feel like Lilith would have her own computer just simply because these days in school they're expecting kids to kind of do research and things. So let's just find something that fits with her bedroom. So she would have some type of computer just to, maybe it wouldn't be as good as Angela's or whatever, but she would have something that she could also do her school research on. Let's just see, where's that computer that Mr. Humble brought? Let's say she had the free computer. They got for free because maybe it can't do as much as her sisters can. But we'll let her chat online to some other neighbors from the area. Just to get her fun up after her homework, because her fun's really low. And so she's kind of doing her own thing. While Angela is interacting with her parents, Lilith is doing her own thing. Not really involved and not really spending time with them. I have to say their interactions aren't terribly positive. So they can't be very fond of things that Angela is saying, because I'm seeing red minuses everywhere. Okay, there's some positive. Maybe they just needed a different time. So Daniel feels kind of guilty about what he did. So he's, kind of being nicer than usual, more involved, talking to Angela and sharing interests, because he feels a little bit, concerned that someone might find out, and he knows what he did was wrong. And he's also being a bit more lovey-dovey towards his wife, trying not to be overly lovey-dovey, but just, asking how her day was, and she enjoys his attention as well. So they end up going to the room, lying down together, having a chat, and spending some time together that ends up becoming romantic. And Angela's gone to the kitchen. She's got a bit of an interest in cooking, so she's preparing the family dinner. We can say it's kind of a chore that she likes to do, so she's doing that. And Daniel is having even more wants related to being a romance sim, of course. Alright, so Lilith comes down as well after socializing on the computer, and after that she can freshen up a bit in the bathroom and go to sleep. So Angela ends up kind of alone at the table because her parents, that they're going for a nap or so and didn't come over for dinner. And Angela ends up just also preparing for bed. And she decides she wants to play on her computer a little bit before going to sleep. Okay, so because it's nighttime, I think that Daniel would be in his pajamas. Wouldn't bother changing into clothing, he would just put on his pajamas. And when Mary Sue wakes up, she will use the bathroom to freshen up a bit as well. Oh, it ended up being at the same time. Alright, so Lilith is done eating. So no one ended up having their dinner together. Everyone is kind of on their own schedule. Mary Sue doesn't really seem hungry. I think she ate something at work. But they're in a very good mood because they spent some quality time together and everything seems to be going really well. Daniel, at the moment, has a bit of a guilty conscience, and he hopes that he can just kind of keep Mary Sue in the dark about what he's done. And they end up watching TV, kind of becoming late. But they're watching some. And he continues to woo her and be very romantic and loving towards her, and she enjoys it. She's in a good mood. Everything went well at work, and Daniel is showing interest and sounding very supportive. Alright, so when Angela wakes up, she can go and take a bubble bath. And what will we do with Lilith? She can maybe chat with her Uncle John and chat with some other people online. We can let her get something, snack or something perhaps. See? We'll just speed through a little bit. And okay, so she can have breakfast. Angela can also perhaps eat or drink something. So Daniel can take his bath. Mary Sue is actually quite hungry. So just want to time it right so we don't have a mess with everyone trying to access the fridge at the same time. So she'll also make some cereal for her. This is kind of everyone's taking their own breakfast and it's just instant cereal and milk. So Angela and Mary Sue's having a nice chat over breakfast. Daniel actually has the one to speak to Lilith, so that's interesting. You know, I think that the parents, like, they wanted their second child to be a son. I think that kind of was the thing, the idea. And they were disappointed that, you know, they had two daughters. And Angela just always seemed like kind of the one that does all the pleasing things, whereas Lilith was a bit rebellious and stubborn, and that automatically made them kind of negative towards her. I'm just going to give them a dishwasher, by the way. I feel like they would have one. And yeah, in the end, you know, things spiraled out of control, and they really became openly, I won't say hostile to her, but in a way kind of irritated with her, and just it was just easy to dote on Angela, and they kind of didn't put in the effort with Lilith anymore, which is really sad. And Lilith, at this point, she's kind of given up on trying to impress them, but deep down, she wishes she could. And Angela just comes across as the goody two shoes, but actually, Angela can be quite mean if she wants to. Okay, so Mary Sue is thirsty. We'll let her drink something. Oh, Daniel is even more in the mood. My goodness. Don't overdo it, Daniel. She will definitely realize something's up if you're acting that much different from what you usually act. Alright, so, let's see. We'll send him to the bathroom. Angela can study cooking for a bit. We can get her to stop dancing. Alright, so Okay, I'm going to let Daniel come and take a seat with Lilith. Because he had that one to talk to her, I feel like he would kind of put in the effort. It's a want that he has. I don't know that it would fulfill if, yeah, it's not, if he's just sitting at the table with her, but okay. They seem to be having positive interactions, so he's maybe making some small talk with her, but it doesn't last terribly long, and then he says, well, I nearly have to go to work, I'm just going to lie down a little bit, relax a bit. Yeah, and so the school bus will nearly come, and Daniel's carpool will nearly come. Right, I think, yeah, there's something with the bed ownership. Obviously, he got on the wrong side of the bed. But I can just relax a little bit until it's time to go. Oh, Lilith isn't a very good dancer. Poor thing. Okay, Lilith can quickly use the bathroom. The bus is nearly going to come. Let's just save quickly. Alright, so there's the school bus, and the girls can get ready to go. Oh, I just need to add a 1 clock for Angela. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Can't click on the correct one this time. Okay, so Angela is, interestingly enough, she's very interested in health and fitness and cooking. So I kind of feel like, you know, that's showing us a direction, something that she's finding interesting and that she might want to pursue. Okay, Daniel's carpool is here as well, so we better get him off to work. Now, Mary Sue, I think, has the day off today, if I'm correct. Pretty sure she will not spend her day off the way that Daniel spent his. I think she will have different pursuits. Alright, so Daniel's off to work, girls are off to school, and Mary Sue can have a relaxing day at home. If I'm correct, I think she has the day off. I might want to double check that. Alright, so we're going to send Mary Sue somewhere. Yeah, her name is also wrong. She's usually Ivica Per, the townie. But if we want to make her playable, we'll fix that. I sometimes bring some of the townies into the game. Alright, we're going to go. Okay, we're going to go to the grocery store, and there's some other stores over there. Okay, Mary Sue wants to be friends with Bull. She's met him somewhere. He's from Somerville. So we'll look that in for her. She likes to have friends all over. So we're just going to buy a few things from the grocery store. And she can possibly get the kids a game to play. And she can also get a magazine. And of course greet John Burke. John Burke is John Burb's female version from Fairplay. But let's see, what can she buy? Something. Alright, let's go for SimCity Rush Hour. That's cute. So there's quite a few ones you can choose from. So let's see. I think the highbrow review, dark culture, environmentalism, the type of thing I think Mary Sue would read. Good old Amundsen's name is wrong as well. Some people say they don't care about that, but I kind of like having them with their original names. So, let's see who else have we met. I think she would kind of try and rub shoulders with Mrs. Graves, whose name I also have to change over here, because that's someone that's high society. It's Mortimer's female version from Fairplay, and oh, okay, Mary Sue and her don't really get along. Oh dear, he might be high society, but he's not really someone that Mary Sue seems to feel much of a liking for. Here's Dirk. Oh, we have a witch here, that's why though. It's freezing. I have to actually just ban all the Alright, she can just sit and wait. Have to come. Nice autumn day. There we go. Okay, so we have 2 hours and minutes before he returns. Mayor just went by. Okay, so Lilith's grades are improving because I let her do homework. And she went to school, so she's on the right track at least. Angela brought a friend home. We'll just interact with him for the trees. Okay, so let's freshen up a bit. Okay, so she's getting to know her friend. Oh, there's a note at the top. Oh, Daniel is back. Okay, so I think Daniel can organize some lunch for the family. Oh, Mary Sue also came back. Okay, we'll let Dawn greet John Tellerman. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Daniel, just. Okay, Mary Sue says, yeah. I'll finish. Thank you for starting. Okay, he really doesn't find her attractive. Interesting. Okay, so you know what? Just say goodbye to her. No, as much as I love your dancing, I think you can go use the bathroom and freshen up instead of dancing right now. Okay, so Orleth is done. So we can let Angela use the bathroom. I think we should let Lilith. Oh, well done. Let Lilith get busy on her homework. I'm going to put something on Angela's desk because it's irritating when they put their homework there because no one can actually do the homework there. So let's just put something so that. And she can do her homework as well afterwards. Okay, Mary Sue has organized their, I don't know what this would be, lunch, dinner. It's too early for dinner, so I guess a belated lunch. Okay, I'm just giving everyone all their goodies. Cell phones and what have you. Want locks. I think specifically these girls would have a good amount of electronics. Okay, so Daniel and Mary Sue is actually sitting down. They're having a discussion, and it's about money mostly, which seems to be important to both of them. Maybe their savings, what they should do, any extra money that comes in. Right, so we'll put her magazine, let's see, somewhere where she can actually read it. I'm going to get rid of these flowers, and I'm just going to put her magazine there. Not get rid of it, just put it in our inventory. Okay, so she's going to sit down, relax a little bit with her magazine. And Daniel can put away some leftovers, then if the kids want to eat later on, they can. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the Burbs over for a visit. I cannot phone them because they're still in the bin. So I'm just going to teleport them. So that, you know, they can interact because it's his family, and of course, they would have some type of interaction with them, so. I'll just make them selectable. I do that often to just make it easier. Okay, so we'll just say that they came over. And little Lucy can go upstairs to her cousins. Okay, they're busy with homework. We'll let her just use the bathroom first. By that time, hopefully they'll be done. Then she can interact with them as well. Oh, John and Daniel really don't get along. Okay. They clearly don't see eye to eye. Didn't quite see that one coming. Shall we take a snapshot? Yeah, of course we will. A snappy. We need a snapshot for events like these. All the drama, you know. The other want logs. They have some good ones at the moment, so we might as well add it. There we go. Okay. Right. Wow. Can you imagine if people really responded like that in a conversation? You don't like what the other person's saying, so you literally close your ears as an adult. Let's see if there's any improvement if they just sit down in front of the TV and so. Okay, yeah, at least. Because that was really deeply strange. Okay, it seems like Mary Sue and Jennifer is getting along okay. So she can talk to her brother. And Mary Sue can come and sit and speak to John when they're done. Oh, these two are at it again. Lucy cannot even interact with them and they're already fighting. Attack. Oh my god. Okay, Lucy actually diverted it. She's getting in between, which is good. Maybe then Angela will stop with her nonsense. Did she? Okay, she does know Lucy. You know what, Angela? You can go go take a nap. You seem to be in a poor mood. Oh my goodness, Lilith doesn't get along with Lucy. Yeah, Lucy, who knows? Like, it's a lost case. Wow. Okay, Angela, go use the toilet, go sleep. Lucy is better off just chatting with people on your computer. We'll say you just said, listen, I'm tired. You go entertain yourself on my computer. And I'll just take a nap. At least Lucy will get to know some other kids. Wow, what a visit. Mm-hmm. Pleasant ain't so pleasant. The pleasants ain't so pleasant. Alright, let's see. Well, okay, he has a 30 relationship with John. It's not too bad, actually. It's actually higher than what he has with his sister, so let's try and pick their relationship up a bit. Talking about friends, they're talking about traveling. Let's see. Okay, Jennifer is so entertained by them that she's rather turning. She's talking about law. Now she's interested in getting a job in law, so maybe she's telling him about that. And he might be agreeing, he might be saying about you know, that it's a good idea to do something like that. He thinks that suits her. And I think Mary Sue and John is talking about vacations. Traveling and going on vacation, perhaps. Alright, so we're going to Make them unselectable. Oh, she didn't get to know everyone. Okay. Alright, whatever. We'll just let you get to know Alexander. The others, I think, are... Well, not all of them are Thomas, but... Oh, okay, never mind. So... It's because I made them unselectable and it's kind of late for a child, so... We might as well just say goodbye. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. It's a Friday. You could have slept in the day, but alright. We'll accept it. Alright, so Daniel can have a little snack now that everyone's leaving. Then he can lie down on the bed a bit and relax. Mary Sue's freshening up in the bathroom. The girls are already in bed. Okay, so Angela will try out the new game when she wakes up. Put her mom bored. Lilith will let her freshen up when she wakes up. Dreaming about some town. Okay. Okay. She can have a nice drink as well when she wakes up. Mary Sue is also relaxing in bed. Oh, okay. So this is Bill from Somerville. I have to say I'm disliking the man already, for a few reasons actually, but I'll keep that to myself for now. Here he is, and he's stealing their newspaper. So my impression of him so far is that he's kind of a little bit obsessed with Mary Sue. I've seen him in other episodes that he's just kind of in the background with Mary Sue, but it's almost like he's a bit obsessed with her. And I'm going to say that he's seen this up and coming woman who's kind of building a good career, and he's a little bit like starstruck fame, like he wants to be part of her life because he thinks she's going to be mayor someday, perhaps, and he wants to kind of rub shoulders with the bigwigs. And Daniel is wanted to take out the trash, and he is now he sees what's happening, and he knows Bill, although he's never really liked him that much, and he sees that Bill is like snooping around their house and taking their things, and he has a very uneasy feeling about this, and he's starting to realize that this man is actually interested in his wife, and he realizes that he's jealous. He doesn't like that, and that he actually doesn't want Mary Sue to have someone else, and he's having a bit of a think of about this. So he goes over to Mary Sue, and they have, in the part that didn't record, they automatically patched up kind of the relationship and fell back in love and all that. So, you know, I'm taking it as Daniel felt a little bit neglected, and, you know, his eyes strayed to the maid. But it's not that he doesn't feel anything for Mary Sue. And yeah, so he goes over to Mary Sue and he's looking at her with different eyes, and he's realizing that, you know, he shouldn't let anything really come between them. They don't have a bad life together. And when she's paying attention to her job, it's just because she has ambition, which is something that he liked about her in the beginning. And he doesn't want the relationship to end. He doesn't want her to end up with someone like this bull that might swoop in and take his place. He's thinking about that a little bit. And it doesn't sit well with him that someone else is interested in Sue. As malfunctioning as their family can be sometimes, with kids fighting, and so he does care for his family. He doesn't want that to happen. Okay, so the kids are up and it's like midnight, but it is going to be weekend, so technically they could be online a bit. They could be up chatting to friends. Because the next day isn't the school. So the girls are kind of hungry. They're not really in the mood to eat what their parents prepared earlier, so they're making their own dinners. And Mary Sue is kind of hungry too, because they ate so early. And we could just possibly get some leftovers. Wakes up. Angela can go use the bathroom. She wants to earn some skills, specifically body. She seems to be interested in the athletic direction. I mean, her aunt was when she was growing up, and her dad is a coach, so maybe she could have a talent and interest in that direction. Yeah, she's very excited about exercising, so that could be something that she's very interested in. She wants to study kind of like health related things as well, so maybe that's something that she enjoys on the side. Okay, Daniel is grabbing something as well. Lilith actually wants to become a cop one day. Interesting. No, so she might act like a baddie, but she actually wants to be something good. They have 8 days before they become adults. I'm obviously gonna send them to university. I feel like this family would kind of insist that they go to university. Lilith's grades is improving. She's doing it on her own. Literally no one's helping her. But she's decided she's not going to let it stand in her way that she's not really getting along with her family. She doesn't want to be the child that gets a D at school. And she has Dirk, so Dirk is also kind of studying with her, and the two of them are helping each other schoolwork wise, or he's helping more than she is. Okay. Okay, Daniel actually wants to get some skills. Now, Daniel has had a thought about this, and he feels like he's been going in the wrong direction, and he doesn't want to lose his family. He's had a thought about this. The whole situation with Bo stealing stuff from them and snooping around their house has made him realize that he really doesn't want to give up his family. And he's kind of just shifting gears. He feels like he's done the wrong thing. That's a bit strange. I wouldn't say like athletics should be a turn off. Especially for someone like him. We can say it doesn't look at it. Whatever, or something like that. I'm gonna use the sim manipulator. Let me just see which one is it. I think it is. Oh wait, no, you can do it on the blender. I'm changing his aspiration now because no longer does he want to act in a way that puts his family in jeopardy. And he now feels like he wants to spend more time with Mary Sue. And he wants to work on himself and improve himself for his family. And he realizes that his fling that he had with Kaylin was something temporary, and he doesn't want to do that anymore. He's not going to fail his family, and he's not going to... Someone from his standing should not be marrying the maid. And he doesn't have the wish to marry her. He doesn't have any aspirations to have a family with her. He actually wants his own children to succeed. And he actually feels like Mary Sue and himself have patched things up. And he does love her, so... I'm going to bring over Kaylin, if I can find her, and let him... I just have to check. I think she has a different name at the moment. Yeah, Carla Gray. I'm going to bring over Kaylin, and I'm going to let him break things off with her and say, listen, I know that we, stepped over the line. I'm saying he's sending her a text and saying, like, can you meet me? And she thinks that it's, for a secret rendezvous. But, well, Mary Sue is in the bath. She comes over. And he's even just meeting her in his pajamas outside. If she can stop smelling the flowers for a moment. And he's talking to her and explaining that he feels like they really made a mistake. And he doesn't want to pursue anything further. And that he would actually appreciate it if she, switched in her cleaning company that she works at, if she switched out shifts so that she wouldn't work for them anymore. They've had a mail maid come over earlier today because she couldn't make it for this shift. Now, she's not particularly excited about this. She actually feels really used. And so she says to Daniel, well, you know, couldn't you have thought of this before? I'm really not impressed with you. And Daniel says, well, I should have. You know, I did the wrong thing. I'm sorry. But, no. And she's very upset with him. She says, well, this is not on. I'm just trying to find an interaction that's kind of appropriate. Of course, I don't want them to fight or anything like that. I'm just making their relationship, you know, so she's upset with him. She's really not impressed. She still greets him cordially, but she's like, Daniel, you're a typical man. You just used me, and now you're done with me. And you said you were going to leave your wife for me, and you didn't. And Daniel says, well, I'm sorry, but I've decided that I've been really stupid, and my family should come first. So let's end this and stop with this. I don't want to go this route anymore. So he hopes that she's not going to make trouble for him and kind of spill the beans. But he's thinking about it, and he's considering actually coming clean with Mary Sue and telling her that, you know, he made a mistake and that he wants to fix it and he doesn't want to lose her. He's thinking about it, so we'll see if he does that. Okay, it's like 3 in the morning. Angela is still working out as if there's no tomorrow. Oh, Mary Sue's pregnant. Okay. Well, then it's just as well that they're patching stuff up. We know that Kaylin is pregnant though too, so Daniel is having 2 more kids. Okay. So I hope they're gonna be better parents to this child than they were to Lilith. Okay, so Lilith actually has aspirations to improve her charisma skill, so we're going to do that for her. Okay, so Mary Sue should maybe just clean the toilet. Messed it up this way, and she can have a little bit. Okay, so she, career-wise, she's not going to reach anywhere significant at this rate. Her one true hobby is music and dance. I'm not sure that that's really accurate because you can read about culture. I'm not so sure that's accurate because it talks about her wanting to do pottery. So I might change that. We'll see. Okay, so Daniel's done taking a bath. Let's just put a mirror over here as well, because he also wants to improve his charisma skill. And yeah, I feel like a bathroom kind of should have a mirror. Alright, Angela's hygiene is kind of low, so she can take a nice bath now.
Tropiala, Barilla Cado, Balacava Tonita, Ja, Orcavalito, Capita Valamon, Acht, Vis Petite, your Gushki Valmig, Tragala Codidi, Lorga Mali, a course do, Corbalomi, Mati, a Corla B, New Lar, Filagaro, Lamuka Bada, Movali, Bosco, Revogar, Tragala Codidi, Lorga Mali, Elcoba Vash, Ficoloni, Pala, Gorlama, Circabalan, Kibalodora, Qual, a course do, Balacava Tonita, Ja, Bicor,
Alright, so we'll just let them continue with this a bit. We'll save, make sure we don't lose anything that happened so far. Okay, so I think I want to update the twins' looks a little bit. I've put some of my CC back, and I like to upgrade the Sims a little bit with some modern CC, or well, it's not so modern, it's maybe from long ago still, but I feel like I haven't got everything back, but it would be nice to update their appearances a little bit. Let's just see what we can find for Angela. We'll start off with her. Looking at different styles. This doesn't look too bad. This is a nice warm tone of red. Yeah, I'm going to accept this one. I think this is nice. Gives Angela a little bit of a different look, which I like. Okay, so we can let Angela study cooking a bit as well. She's interested in that direction too. We'll say she's looking at healthy recipes. Okay, it's Lilith's turn. Let's change her appearance as well. Let's see what we can get for her. Let's see what else we have. Perhaps if we change her makeup a bit, we can get a better insight. Okay. What do we have? Well, okay. That doesn't look too bad. I think she would still keep some eyeliner and some darker makeup. Let's see, I haven't put in everything yet, and there's some stuff that would have actually really suited her. Maybe that one. That actually looks nice. It's still dark, but it's not black. It's just like a dark burgundy. I think that looks nice. Okay, she doesn't really agree, but alright. Sorry, Lilith. I think you look much better. So we're gonna go for that, whether you like it or not. What did you do? I wanted my black lipstick. Sorry, but I couldn't look at you like that anymore. Okay, I'm happy with their makeovers. And Lilith is coming over, sitting next to her mom, and she's like, "Oh, you changed your hair. Doesn't look too bad." Actually, looks quite nice. I like it. Lilith's like, a compliment from my mother. What a surprise. Okay, so Daniel has to go to work in an hour, so we'll just let him have a coffee, and then he will be off. The girls have some nice time at home for a Saturday morning. Mary Sue's enjoying her magazine, and Liz having a dance. So we'll let Lilith befriend. This is actually Dirk's female version from Fairplay, Dee Dee. So she has the wish to befriend her, so I think that is nice. Let's spend some time with her. If she gets along with Dirk, she'll probably get along with Dee Dee, I'm assuming. So we'll say she's having a really long phone call with someone that she wants to be friends with. And Angela is having a browse through some health recipes because she's very health oriented. We'll let her quickly use the bathroom. And oh, there's no one to chat with online. Okay. Can we let her phone someone as well? She can phone from her cell phone. So we'll let her also make friends with someone. I should have some friends from school, I mean, realistically speaking. After that, we'll let the girls kind of go to bed because they were up pretty much all night. And I'd rather let them have some part of Saturday available to do something instead of just sleeping the day away. So they can just have a nap.
Nu Picaro. Clever Voja. Himala Godus de Blikan.
Alright, so Daniel needs to go to work, and so does Mary Sue. It's Saturday, and it's time for all of them to be off. The girls will have the house to themselves. And they're both on the phone to friends. Typical teenage girl behavior, I believe. Angela is befriending a townie, while Lilith is continuing to pursue her friendship with Dee Dee Draper from Fairplay. So we're just continuing with that. We're pretending it's a really long call that she's making to her friend. And after all their chatter, they've become best friends. That's what we'll say. And then for Angela, she'll make friends with this townie. Then I'm going to let her take a little nap. They've been up for quite a bit, so that's why they're both tired. So Lilith will also go and sleep a bit. Alright, so we'll just line up for them things like get dressed and have some food and things when they wake up. Daniel has a chance card. Yeah, it's about the piano that needs to be moved. So what would Daniel do? Let's think a little bit. I think Daniel would pay movers. I'm pretty sure. Okay, it turns out positively. That's great. He actually earned some money from it, so great. Lovely. Okay, Daniel's back. Now Dustin is standing in front of their house, probably trying to pluck up the courage to go over and ring the doorbell. And we know that Daniel really isn't fond of Dustin. So, okay, yeah. He wants to bring someone home from work. Great, level 9. He's coach now. He's hoping his family will storm out and congratulate him on his success. Now, this townie that he brought home is from Somerville. He's a townie from there. So we'll let him interact a little bit with her as well. I like this greeting. The Sims 2 creators had such a sense of humor, I have to say. Okay, so he speaks to him a little bit. And Daniel is trying to be a little bit more approachable, a little bit more understanding, now that his kind of view on things have changed. And he's decided, you know, if Angela truly cares for Dustin, then maybe you should try to get to know the boy a little bit and see if he really is a lowlife or if, you know, maybe she's onto something. So he's having a bit of a chat with him about kind of random things, and it's positive. So Daniel is, you know, maybe it's not his first choice for his daughter, but he's willing to be a little bit open-minded and take a look. I will say Angela heard outside of in their front yard some talking. It sounds like Dustin, so she gets dressed and she comes down. Mortimer is passing by, and she's pleasantly surprised to see that her dad and Dustin's having a conversation that, you know, seems positive. That's all she wants is her parents' approval, and she does care for Dustin, so I think we should get a snapshot of that. Alright, so Dustin kind of acknowledges that Angela is standing behind Daniel, and Daniel says, "Oh, hi, here you are. Be good. Enjoy your time with Dustin, but be good, please." And Dustin's wondering what happened to Daniel, because Daniel is not this gruff, irritated man that he used to be. He actually took the time to speak to him in a nice way. And but he doesn't dwell on it long. He's just really happy to see Angela. So they spend a little bit of time together. He gives him a little kiss. I don't know what this is. No, okay. This is some wrong message, obviously, that's popping up. Okay, luckily his job changed. From that, I was a bit concerned now. Okay, so he knows her from work. I'm just going to edit it and they talk a little bit more and then he'll send her on her way. Okay, so she'll say, okay, Dustin, it was nice that you came by. It was really nice to see you. And tell your mom I say hi. We can take a little snap of this too. Quite nice. Don't quite know what happened with his sleeve in her hand, but alright. Ignore that. Okay. So Angela is going to get something to eat. My menu is a bit overcrowded. What's this? Okay. That's something different. We can make that. We can actually serve that for everyone. Oh dear. I thought Daniel got along with her. You know what? Just say goodbye. That's fine. Take care of your needs. And go have some melon bread. Looks interesting. And Lilith can also come and eat when she's done taking a bath. So Angela actually sits down with her dad, and together and Lilith joins them. One of the few times that they're doing this. Well, Mary Sue's missing, but kind of as a family. And they're all having positive interactions, which is quite nice. Doesn't mean their relationship is on the level that it should be, but at least they are sitting down, eating together, kind of interacting in a positive way. I mean, Lilith and Angela pretty much still hate each other. That hasn't changed. But Daniel's trying to go down to their level. He's talking to them about games, things they enjoy doing in their free time, and films, movies that they would like to see. And the girls really enjoy spending some time with him. It feels nice that their dad is actually interested. But Lilith is kind of irritated by something that Angela said about some movie. She doesn't agree with her, so she decides to just take the dishes away and not ruin the fact that they just had a nice chat. Kind of ignore it. The lady there in the front is from Fairplay. She's actually Herb's female version. But I'm not going to let anyone from this household greet her now. Alright, so Lilith is going to watch something about cooking on the TV. And Angela and her dad is still having a nice chat. So Lilith prefers to kind of distance herself, even, during times like this. Alright, Mary Sue finally got a promotion. She's a lobbyist, level 3. That's really nice. I'm glad if her political career can also take off a little bit, because she's really committed to it, but she doesn't seem to be terribly good at what she's doing. It's going a bit slow. Okay, her needs aren't great, so I'm going to just let her use the bathroom and then go to bed. And Daniel will clear up over there. Okay, I don't know, here's a townie, but we're not going to bother with him right now. He's just checking our paper. Okay, Daniel is kind of tired as well, so... Oh, Mary Sue. So we know that Daniel and Mary Sue did kind of brush up a little bit on their relationship, and yeah, we know that Mary Sue is in fact actually pregnant. She's expecting a baby. So the signs are starting. And we'll say that Daniel hears that she's being sick in the bathroom, and he's kind of standing outside the door asking, "Honey, are you alright?" And says, yeah, she's not sure what's going on. She's really not feeling well. It started at work already. So he gives her a little back rub and says, well, do you want to eat anything? Or would you just like to go and lie down a bit? And she says, well, she's really not hungry. She would prefer to just lie down a little bit. Okay. So let's send them. We'll let Daniel. He says, listen, I'll clean up for you. Just go get in the bed, sleep a little bit, try and see if you can feel better. And when you wake up, I can run you a nice bubble bath. Okay, so she went to bed. The girls are actually watching a cooking show together. So we can say it's something that they're interested in, that they thought there was a new episode of. And they both felt very interested in this. It can be like a reality show where people have to prepare recipes or something like that. And they're watching. So this is interesting. Bill was stealing their paper, and now his teenage daughter is doing it. So perhaps there's some type of situation going on there where he convinced his daughter to get him the paper. He seems to really have an infatuation with Mary Sue and her family, to the point where it's really creepy. So, because it's always him or his daughter doing this. Now, I've spotted her doing it outside other homes as well. So, maybe it's kind of a joke between the two of them doing something like that. But he really seems to have an infatuation with Mary Sue and her family, not in a healthy way. Alright, so we'll let the girls watch TV for a bit more. Their interactions during this time is actually positive. So they're kind of excited about the show, and it's bringing them together a little bit, even though usually they don't get along. Sometimes I play it so that, you know, they really patch up their relationship and become friends. And other times, you know, I let them kind of be glad to be rid of each other when they go to university and not really spend any time together. Sometimes I let their parents, if they split up, that be the situation that brings them together. But this time around, because Daniel and Mary Sue patched things up, there really isn't anything that's bringing them together specifically. Okay, we had a problem where Daniel didn't want to get into the bed, but the bed ownership seems to be something I can fix with that, so. Alright, so Angela needs to go to the bathroom. And then she's going to chat with friends online. Alright. And Lilith, we're going to let her turn off the TV and also send her to the bathroom. Now, Lilith isn't doing too bad at school, actually, even without support. She's really studying with Dirk and feeling good about herself. I'm going to work on some skills for her. We're going to do charisma. And I don't know that, I mean, she's halfway through her teenage stage. I'm not sure that we will really be able to get her to pull it up enough that she can earn some type of money when going to university with it. Her sister is much higher in her skills. But okay, it would kind of make sense, you know, if Lilith is the one that didn't receive all the opportunities her sister did, then she might not be able to, you know, excel as much as her sister will do. Okay, so Angela, because she's very much into cooking, she can come and serve them something to eat. Alright, so Mary Sue's needs are looking much better. So we'll let her come and take a look at her magazine a little bit. She enjoys reading her magazine. We forgot this one out. Maybe she can put it away before it spoils. Yeah, Angela, why you feel the need to put that on the floor, I'm not sure. But okay, we'll let Mary Sue put it away. So the girls are eating something. You can say they tried out one of the recipes they saw on TV. They're not agreeing on something. Angela feels that sport and fitness is very important, and Lilith maybe doesn't agree on the type of exercise that Angela prefers. Daniel is watching TV, but we'll send him over here. So I want to just work on the relationships a bit. I'm not sure what it will end up as in the end. They're having a bit of a chat with the girls. Maybe about future plans, about what they plan on doing when they go to university. But it's clear Mary Sue is feeling a greater connection with Angela. And she's feeling a bit warmer towards her. Father, let's just save so we don't lose any progress. Alright, so it's Sunday. The girls have had a nap. We're going to send Lilith out a little bit. Okay, so this is the female version of Daniel. She's from Fairplay, so he wants to bring her home. It would be interesting to see how they interact, but Daniel doesn't have the same aspiration anymore, so I'm pretty sure that they will not, kind of be a match because she's a romance and we haven't played her yet. So, alright, but it's fine. He knows her from work. Let's just see, where are we sending Lilith? Maybe somewhere in Somerville. Yeah, okay. I think she would attempt something like the bowling games. Alright. So we're just going to say goodbye. It's fine. He knows her. He can befriend her, but yeah. That's pretty much it. And he's like, oh, Pleasant, there's a taxi in front of our house. Lilith? Well, where are you going? And she obviously tells her dad, well, I want to go bowling for a bit. Alright, so Angela is going to act like a little bit more of a house mouse and just lays about, enjoy her weekend doing not much. Whereas Lilith intends on going out. Alright, so Lilith is here. Oh goodness, what a view. Lilith is here. Let's see who else shows up. It's a really nice lot. Really well built. Oh, her name is wrong. Okay, doesn't matter. There's the bowling area and kind of arcade area. So we'll see. She have a phone. So she's phoning someone to join her. And she's saying, oh, Dirk, can we do some bowling? And Dirk says, yeah, sure. That'll be nice. He's on his way over. And she decides to wait for him before starting to play, of course. And she sees Kaylin, their ex-maid over there, pregnant, cheering on some friends. And she looks at her but doesn't approach her. She was never really close. She's thinking, oh, I didn't know she was married. And then she sees Dirk outside the door, so she kind of forgets about Kaylin and goes over to greet him with a big kiss. She's still angry at her sister for something. Something they disagreed on, obviously. So she's going to ask him on a date. Alright, he wants to have a pillow fight with her now. Realistically speaking, where they would be pulling out their pillows from, no one knows. On a community lot, but alright. We'll just fulfill that one. As unrealistic as it is. Okay. He wants to be tickled by Lilith. The very platonic ones that he has, and she literally wants to eat with him. That's about the extent of what she wants. So there's not a whole lot to fulfill. He also just wants to eat with her. And I think this is the one lot where there isn't really anything to eat. And I did want them to play bowling, actually. That was actually the whole idea. Oh, wait, they could... But this is not... This type of eating would be dine out. So they would need to go elsewhere in order to fulfill this want. If Goopy, creepy man, can just kind of like, hello, I've always wanted to have a chat with teens on the sidewalk. Okay, we're going to go explore another nice restaurant built by the same person, creator of this neighborhood. The Bluestone Restaurant. Let's see how this. Also, really beautiful, nice and quaint, I have to say. Nice, quaint spots. But since I don't have the downtown 100% up and running at the time of this recording, you know, I'm making use of these restaurants and areas for all the neighborhoods until I have everything in downtown. I know I've given you a tour of downtown. Okay, these ones are better actually. But at the time of this recording, it was not up and running. So just have to fix the streets. Okay, so Brandy Broke is at a very posh restaurant. I hope she has the money to buy a meal here. Okay, we'll just let them fulfill some wants around each other. Okay, here's Lilith's male version from Fairplay. I think Lionel is his name. Yeah, Lionel Oakley. You can greet him. They probably know him from school. All these neighborhoods are supposed to be close to each other and attached to some city. Okay, so they're asking to be seated. Where's Dirk? Please don't tell me he's seated elsewhere. No. Alright, so let's order. Let's just do chef's choice. Helen Chase is a policewoman, so she's probably like, these teenagers are unattended at this type of restaurant. That's kind of strange. So Lilith ordered something very interesting. He's talking about his job and promotion, like getting better in his job. There's a lot of people from Somerville here, which is to be expected. Okay, Darren and Brandy's interacting. So, oh, Darren is here, so he's like, I know my son is out over here. I'm just keeping an eye, you know. Aww, that's cute. They're having a good time. That's really nice. I love these interactive actions that you can do at the tables. Really cool. That's cute. So even though their relationship seemed a bit rocky in the beginning, they're really fond of each other and really enjoy spending time together. So even, because I know the Pleasant girls are a bit older than their boyfriends, so, you know, they will probably go to university a little bit before the boys do. So we don't know if this will last, but I think they will definitely remain friends, even if this doesn't turn into a marriage one day or something. Okay, so their friend from school comes over to greet them, say hello. Just can't reach her. Okay. Bye. Dirk just says, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to see. You see, it's not necessarily the situation that everyone really likes um, their male or female version, because over here you can see Lilith really doesn't find him interesting. So, and she's like, oh, are you here to pick up Dirk? So nice to see you. And of course, random other people greet her. Well, okay. And, so she gives Dirk a little kiss. He wants to hug Lilith. Okay, so they can have a little romantic hug, but they're mindful, obviously, that Lionel is creepily staring at them. Don't know why. And Dirk's dad is just there, so. But as you can see, if you're looking at their wants, really, there isn't much there. You know, they're all very, very platonic ones with regards to each other. So you can see this isn't a very highly chemistrated. I don't know if you can say that. It's not a relationship full of chemistry, if I can put it that way. Well, she would like a dream date with Dirk. We'll see if we can get it up to that. I honestly am not sure. We've made it to great. I'm just gonna end it because time-wise, you know, she has to go to school the next day. And they had a great time, so it was nice. She'll greet another school friend on the way out. But his dad is kind of waiting for him because they need to go home. So Lilith says goodbye, and Darren obviously offers, like, should we get you home? And she's like, no, no, no. I'm calling a taxi. I've arranged with my parents that I'll be back a certain time. They know where I am. Oh, just in time. Here's the charlatan. And Bill is passing by, of course. He will always be somewhere where one of the Pleasants are. Creepy man. Alright, so Lilith is going home. We still have Lilith looking angry, and, you know, her body language in this family portrait is still just not very friendly. Okay, so let's play with them at home. So Daniel just got home from work, so he's kind of tired. but he'll sit and have a chat with Mary Sue at the table. She's serving something nice that she created. It looks like some baked art or something. So he's not hungry, but the two of them are having a nice chat. So yes, over here, we need him to kind of come clean with her about Kaylin. He has, you know, kind of renewed his commitment towards her in his heart, but he hasn't told her that, you know, Kaylin's actually expecting his child and that they had a relationship, an affair. So he says to her, listen, I need to come clean with you. Unfortunately, there was a time that I don't know what was wrong with me. She kind of says, okay, but what about the child? Like, are you paying child support? And he says, well, you know, he hasn't up to now. He's given Kaylin something here and there, but he's trying not to have anything to do with her, really. But he just wants Mary Sue to understand that he's really committed to their relationship and their family, and he realizes he was a complete fool, and he never ever wants anything to come between them again. So she's obviously, understandably, not happy that this took place. But at the same time, she, yeah, there you can see her reaction is kind of like, well, that's not very good to hear that you actually cheated on me. And their relationship does take a bit of a hit from that, but she is grateful that he's at least coming clean with her. She obviously prefers that to living in some bubble where she doesn't know what happened. And he says that he really wishes he could turn back time and just, he would have never done that. But unfortunately, it did happen, and he feels he wants to talk to her about it, and he's really, really sorry. I wanted to try and give some money to Kaylin from his side. Yeah, there we go. So he's going to pay something to Kaylin. Because Mary Sue says to him, you know, if you don't make an arrangement with her out of court, then she can sue you, you know. So maybe try to make some amicable arrangement that we can live with every month, so we're not obviously destitute, but just so that we don't have the situation of her taking you to court and this being some type of scandal that can go to the tabloids, because people do know about us, and this will be a really big blemish on the family name, which none of us want. And Daniel agrees with her. He realizes that it is the right thing to do. It's the best choice to make. So he's done that, and he's emailed Kaelin and said, okay, listen, can this work for you? Can we pay you something monthly to help you out? And Kaelin obviously accepted because it's a decent amount. Now Mary Sue has a lot to think about. She isn't happy with how it turned out that that he did this, but she does love him, and she also doesn't want her family to be destroyed by a mistake that he, is sorry about. Now, because the Pleasants don't start at the same time as the other families in the neighborhood, which I kind of regret, but I understand why they do that because of the scripted events. We're playing with them for longer than we're playing with the other families to try and just sync up the time. We won't even be able to make it fully to Wednesday because if I do that, then Mary Sue will have her baby before Kaelin is able to give birth, and that will mess up the order of events and the ages. So we will not be able to play all the way to Wednesday, but we'll try and get as close as we can. And then in the next round, I'll have to play with the Pleasants a bit more, once again, just to try and sync up the days of the week. I do have a mod where you can change the day of the week, but for some reason the correct day just isn't available. It gives me all the other days of the week, but I cannot truly get the one I need. So alright, so Mary Sue's going to make some phone calls before going to bed. And Angela is up. She can't sleep. And she's working on her skills. I would like to try and get her some bursaries from university. So she phones Cassandra because they haven't spoken in a bit, and she actually talks to Cassandra about what happened and what Daniel has told her. And her friend is trying to be very supportive. And yeah, because Cassandra also went through something, kind of infidelity that broke up her marriage. She's very understanding. She is kind of surprised that Mary Sue is not just throwing him out, but she realizes that because Mary Sue is also having a baby. Oh dear, their TV literally just fell off the wall. Oh goodness. Okay, Daniel, we'll go clean. He can't clean it up. Hello. Okay. Guess I'm just gonna have to clear the debris. Okay, they have money, so we can give them another TV, I guess. I'm not quite sure what they had. Oh, that's very small now. Something like this. Obviously it wasn't the same because this is custom content, but it's fine. It will do the job, so. Okay, so Daniel seems to kind of have what he needs, but charisma is something that he can always do with. Okay, Lilith has actually returned. She's back, and she's like, Dad, I'm back. I made my curfew. And he says, okay, great. Did you have a good time? And she says yes. And she's tired, so she's gonna just go to bed. And okay, Angela, I'd like to let her get this skill. What in the world? Some garbage is lying around. Okay, oh, here. She got a little rose. Okay, that's nice. Where can we put it in her room? Let's maybe give her another little bedside table. And then we can put the rose there for her. I think that would look nice. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, next baby bump. Alright. So she's got the skills that she needs for promotion. I'm going to change things up here a little bit. Since Mary Sue has in her bio that she really used to enjoy pottery. She has in her bio that she really used to enjoy pottery, and she doesn't have time to create pottery anymore. Well, she's on maternity leave now, so there's nothing stopping her from doing pottery now. And I think she would find that a nice creative outlet. So I'm going to get her that and let her do some pottery in between for her hobby. Okay, so Daniel got skill. It was also fulfilling one of his wants. Okay, she made a little plate. Cool. We can hang it up. Let's just see. We can remove this horrible mask that's over there. It's really not attractive. She can even make another one. Yeah. Okay, so Daniel comes over to make them some breakfast. Kind of early on a Monday to have breakfast, but okay. He's hungry, so. I need to probably take care of Angela's needs. Since it's Monday morning, she'll be going to school at some point, so I think I should just take care of her needs now. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode on the Pleasance. It's been a long one. I hope you still enjoyed this. We are going to have to stop this here. We didn't make it to Wednesday, of course, it's Monday. But it's just so that Mary Sue doesn't have her baby before Kate. I wish you happy simming, and I hope you guys will be blessed, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye!